Happy New Year. The market pushes down to start the year. Are the bulls still hungover? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so before I left for the holiday, I told you that the last week of the year was usually low volume drift up trading, and that's essentially what we saw until Friday, where they sold a little bit and then followed through yesterday. Now the question is this another small pullback or something bigger brewing? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, it is 2024. I'm excited for this year. As you can see on the screen, this room helps so many people trade and make money and understand the market. We would love to have you be part of our team. If you want to do that, stay tuned for later in the video. But for now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500. Last week, we drifted higher. We were looking for 48.50, I should say, as that was about the all-time highs on ES that would have concurred with the SPX all-time highs. We were looking for that area and a rejection. They got to 48.42 and rejected from there. So pretty close to the all-time highs, then rejected and sold off again yesterday. And now they're getting into some key support areas. And what happens from here is important. So there are two major possibilities that we're tracking, and then one that we have kind of on the very back burner, but we'll talk about that one last. I think that the most likely scenario is that we are topping in an A wave. And I don't mean the most likely like it's 90% sure that's the one. It's still pretty close on what we're thinking here because the structure is so messy. We've talked about this very much. We got a diagonal to trace out here from the top and kind of give us our last wave up. Now, how this or we count this or what this wave is going to depend on this pullback. So we got the diagonal, then we got the quick sell-off, which is very indicative of a diagonal. The question is, have we topped in an A wave, and we would expect this B wave pullback and then C higher, which would be our expectation that we had for quite a while now, since back in November or end of October, or are we going to continue on the direct route higher and push back up toward the 48.81 area in wave 5. So let me break down both of those counts and how they look. Now, in the instance that we're going to continue directly higher, the low from 1220 becomes important. They need to hold that low based on corrective depth theory. You want to see this move hold, or this low hold, as it would be a wave 4 that they're trying to hold of this wave 3 of 3. So when then you move into wave 4 overall of 3, okay, so you have 4 of this Roman numeral 3. Now you would have Roman numeral 4 of this of this bracketed 3. So when that is the case, the larger degree 4, which is the Roman numeral 4, should hold the previous lower degree 4, which would be the the 1220 low here. So assuming the bulls can hold that, then we would look for a push back up toward the 48.81 to 49.24 area to complete wave 3 here. So this bracketed wave 3 would move up into these areas. 1618 is the pretty typical target at 48.81. But because this wave 3 of 3 is so high above the 1382, you could see an extension up to the 1764 at around the 49.25 area. So that's going to be the first thing we watch is, can they hold the 1220 low? If they can, and they break back over this 48.27 high right here, it becomes very likely we're on our way to 48.81 to 49.24, this zone right here, to complete a bigger wave 3. Then we'd look for one more pullback in this bracketed wave 4, and then 5 on up to the 49.93 or 5,000 area, bringing us into the all-time highs on SPX around 49.50 or so, and topping out in this move up. So that would be the more direct path higher. Again, holding this 1220 low becomes pretty important, as that is the corrective depth theory in play right there. We teach that in our Elliott Wave 4 beginners course. And assuming they can hold this low, our next target would be 48.81 to 49.24, and then we would look for one more pullback and then up toward the 5,000 area from there. Now, the A wave top would be that we completed a wave 5 here in a diagonal, and we're starting a wave B, okay, to the downside. Now, that wave B would target about 4,500. And then the 1.0 of this A, B, C up would then point us up toward that 5,000 area as well. It would just be a bigger pullback, And this is really what we were looking for overall as an ABC. We talked about that back at the lows when they couldn't follow through. If they were going to move to the upside, it would have to be a diagonal structure, which would be an ABC wave. And that's kind of what we would be looking for here. If they break down below the 1220 lows, we'd be looking for continuation down toward the 4500 to 4550 area. This zone of support right here in the 4600 area would be kind of where we'd look for them to bottom, poke through that towards 4550, and then back up toward the 5000 area from there to complete the move up. So really it's going to depend on the 1220 low. That's kind of our key number right now. Break below that, and we're looking for a three-wave pattern to the downside. We'd get an A, B, C into this support area, and then we'd be looking at a C wave higher. So we'd be looking at a pretty strong rally up into this 5000 area, back to the all-time highs to give us that final fifth wave in a much bigger super cycle to complete this move up off of the October lows. So those are the two patterns we're tracking. Can they hold the 1220 low and push higher towards 4881 next? If they can, we would expect 4,900 to 5,000 sooner than later. If they cannot hold this low, we'd look for a bigger pullback into the 4,500, 4,550 area. As strong as this move in we could see 4,600, but that general area, 45, 4,600, as a pullback, and then a move higher back toward the 5,000 area. Over on the NASDAQ, now one of the reasons that I favored the B wave count, so where we top in A and pull back in B on the ES chart, is that NASDAQ already broke that 1220 support area, and it's coming into its next support area down here at 16,636. We've talked about this low for a while. They bounced off of it today on their first attempt. That's pretty common. Bounce back up. What we would look for here is an ABC down and a bigger wave 4 toward the 16,153 area, and then up in 5 to complete the move off of the lows at about the 18,000 region. This area has a bunch of support. It's the 382, this 16,150, 16,200 area. Makes a lot of sense for them to come back and test and then move up in wave 5 to complete this pattern and give us the all-time high number here for the super cycle on the NASDAQ as well. And that's what we'd be looking for overall, is this to be a 4 and 5 to the upside to complete the move into that 17,800, 18,000 area overall on the NASDAQ. If they can push higher here, we would expect them to be continuing in 3 here. So this would be 4 of 3 down, and then you'd get a 5 of 3 up, and then like on ES, you'd look for one more low and one more high like that into the same area around that 18,000 area. So 16,153 is the number to watch. If they break that, then we could be looking at a wave 2 and a much bigger structure. And that doesn't exactly fit the overall pattern, so I don't love that count. But that would be the next thing we'd be looking for, is a wave 2 pullback into the 15,531 to 15,146 area. But given how high they've pushed already, it makes much more sense to see a wave 4 pullback and then a move higher in wave 5 toward the 18,000 area. Guys, if you love the information that we put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It will take you over to our website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. Make sure you love it and become part of our trading team before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. We have incredible traders in there. In our member trade room, we have one trader who is absolutely crushing the market. It's not just me and PT that give you value. There is so much in these rooms. You really need to see it and check it out. We also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. In there, we're helping real traders make real money and finally understand the market in a way that makes sense. If you don't understand this rally off of the lows, or you can't figure out why the market's moving up during bad news and down during good news, Elliott Wave Theory gives you those answers. You have key levels and key numbers so that you understand where the market's supposed to stop or bounce, and when it doesn't, you know what's next. It doesn't leave you in the dark, and it doesn't leave you wondering what the heck just happened. It finally allows you to make sense of a completely irrational market, giving you a leg up on many other traders. It is 25 videos where we go over the introduction, the chart setup and tools, and the Elliott Wave for Beginners area. In the introduction, we go over your mindset and emotion, the KISS method, why it works. The chart setup is every tool you need to use with Elliott Wave Theory and how to use it. And then the Elliott Wave for Beginners area is each wave broken down, what it's supposed to look like, what its targets are, how to know when they're working, how to know when they're failing, how to know how to trade them, all of that stuff in here. The corrective depth theory that I talked about in this video, it's all in here so that you can make sense of an irrational market. We also have our advanced Elliott Wave course coming out very soon. It is in production right now, and we should have it out in the next couple weeks. That will be included with monthly memberships. So that's the really cool thing. If you don't want to pay for these courses, all you have to do is become a monthly member, and they're included for free, and there is so much value in there. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where we go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as all of our training courses that we ever release in the future and now. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing and day trade, so we trade quite often in my room. If you're looking for futures trading, income trading, advanced training, as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get every single thing you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as income trading, where PT has now made 75 ES points over 3 weeks with an easy set it and forget it system that allows you to collect money each day. He has his reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. He gets you in at a really cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures his trades. It's so unique, and it's something you really have to see to understand. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we really would love to have you in this room so we can all make money together. All right, the key takeaways for today on the ES, that 1220 low is the important number. They need to hold that area in the 47.45 zone. As long as they can do that, we can look higher in the 48.81 area next, and then 49.24 after that. However, if they are able to break that low, we would be looking now down toward the 4,600 to 4,500 area in a B wave before making our trek up towards 4,900 plus after that. Over on the NASDAQ, they have already broken their 1220 low and broken it quite handily. They're now into that 16,636 area. If they're unable to hold this area, we would expect them to push down into the 16,150 zone, the 382 retracement for a wave 4, and then up from there into the 17,750 to 18,000 area to complete that move. If, however, they can't hold the 16,100 area, we'd be looking down to 15.5 next in a potential wave 2. Guys, it's great to be back. That is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.